come together right now over me. Just doing a little warm-up vocals before we record today. What up, y'all? My name is Jade Fox. Welcome back to my channel. Today, let's not waste any time. Let's not waste any time. We got to cut right to the chase because today I'm going to be reviewing every Netflix original TV show that I watched in 2021. I was all up in the house watching all types of TV. Y'all was in the house watching TV as well. There's nothing like just sitting that ass down and just turning on Netflix and just seeing what you get thrown into. And so this is all the programming that I threw myself into this year. So the order that I'm going to be going over these shows is pretty much like my most recently watched to what I was watching at the beginning of the year. So Selling Sunset is my shit. I just finished it. I just finished Selling Tampa, which is the Rosa Parks version of Selling Sunset. Selling Sunset showcases the drama of the Oppenheim group, where elite real estate brokers sell their luxurious life to their affluent buyers. This show is toxic. I don't even know where to start. So all these bitches do is fight. All these bitches do is go to lunch, order pot stickers, and then fight over said pot stickers. And then everybody, which is being an asshole. Davina, she's a bitch. It gives me middle school vibes. Christine, she should teach a master class in gaslighting because that's all she does is gaslight people, buy a designer, and be an escrow. That's all they do. That's all that they do. For a rating, I give it a B for Botox. Sex, Love, and Goop. With the help of experts, couples learn lessons and methods to enhance their relationships through more pleasurable sex and deeper intimacy. Sex, Love, and Goop had me gooped. There is no show that talks about sex in the way that this show talks about sex. And they get into it, y'all. It's very much, you know, going beyond the surface level, okay? We're getting into shame in regards to sex, getting into bodies and how you feel about your body in regards to sex. How, you know, we regard ourselves. It's just a very reflective show. It's a very inspiring show. It's a very poignant show as well. I learned a lot. I feel it is very much of a resource for couples that are having some trouble finding that spark again, or people that have like very individual like issues with their own sensuality. I feel like regardless of what your specific anxiety is or issue in regards to sexuality and sex, I feel like at some point this show talks about it because this show is so vast. A beautiful show that talks about sex in ways that are, you know, not loaded with expectation and loaded with like judgment. It's really nice. It's a very, very, very good show to watch. If you're into that, if you're into like sex education, like literally, not the show on Netflix, but if you're into like sex education, if you're into sensuality, if you're into like connection and love and like all that stuff and how that works together, shame, absolutely tune in. Then Gwyneth Paltrow was there and she was kind of like the Tyler Perry. You know when like you're watching a movie and then Tyler Perry just shows up, but he's got sideburns and so it's not supposed to be Tyler Perry. He's like in disguise. It's nice. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one. You is a show about this guy who's a stalker and he just has these rolling Moesha Diary like voiceovers in his head all day long, and he's just, I'm not interested in hearing what a white man gotta say about white women. You know, like that's what the show is. I just got bored, and then his voice is so monotone, it just sounds like a GPS after a while. Oh, who is this woman? Oh, her hair of marigold, skin white like a beautiful Band-Aid. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, but I can't keep myself away. It's just like, nigga, I don't care. You gonna date the girl or you not? You gonna like try and kill her or stab her or something or like kidnap her. It's just predictable and I got bored. Nailed it. Home bakers with terrible track record take a crack at recreating edible masterpieces for a $10,000 prize. This show is great, like background noise programming. I pretty much watch this show if I'm like in the middle of something, or if I'm like cooking, I'm not really paying attention. Nicole Byer is an icon. Nicole Byer is the blueprint. I know she just came out with a special on Netflix, so I got to check that out. But pretty much Nicole Byer and how bad these people are at making things is the whole reason why I watch this show. I don't know how they get these prompts to make cakes and they end up making things that look like something hanging from a tree in Blair Witch Project. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. Everyone's trash at baking, and I don't know how the show has had so many seasons and everybody's still so bad. I don't understand. But I'm tuning in for Nicole Byer regardless. 1 out of 10, I give the show, honestly, I give it like a 7. Squid Game. Oh, Squid Game, I was not ready for Squid Game. I was not ready for Squid Game, babes. So all these people that have like wild amount of debt, they compete to win a bunch of money to eliminate their debt. However, they compete in a series of games at which they risk their lives. So you either win the money or you die. Everybody was watching Squid Game, and this was a good show to watch like amongst the masses, because I almost had a stroke. It's a hematoma. Like, I feel like I went through some things physically, a lot of mass death at the same time. It's very much killed 2 birds with 1 stone, but it'd be really like killed 50 people with 1 doll, you know what I mean? And so it was super violent, but for how simple the plot is, I really enjoyed the way that they carried the story out. I feel like the acting was phenomenal. That old man had my heart. But Squid Game was a hell of a ride, when I tell you. I feel like it's like one of those shows that you probably got to watch more than once, because I'm sure that there's little clues and things that I probably missed, you know, the first time around. Binged it really quickly. Really, really great show. Fantastic writing, fantastic acting. I really enjoyed myself watching Squid Game. Oh, the circle message. In this lighthearted and strategic competition series, the players must choose whether to be themselves or other people, all while chasing a cash prize. Circle, I love the Circle. I want to be on the Circle low key. I feel like I could, you know, make a little shmoney. The Circle is prime yell at the TV programming. It is perfect for when you just want to just have a little wine, maybe have a little medication, and just yell at the TV at the things that they choose to send in these group texts. If my entire diaphragm is not engaged while watching a reality show, then that means I'm not yelling enough, and that means that it's not good enough. Because I need a show that can have a conversation with me. I'm not gonna spoil it for you if you have not watched it, but I need you to get ready for C-Burn. Circle, 10 out of 10. Q-Force, a handsome secret agent and his team of LGBTQIA plus super spies embark on extraordinary adventures. I love this show. It was really funny. I enjoyed the fact that there is this cartoon superhero show for like younger people to watch, who's questioning or is gay and maybe they're not out yet, has a show like Q-Force that is lighthearted, that's funny, you know, that they can tune into and get, if not a little bit of representation, a little bit of feeling of a family, you know what I mean? And so for that reason, I stand Q-Force. Wanda Sykes is a voice in that show. I think one of the leads too in the show, one of the voiceovers. And so I love it. I think it's really entertaining. I think it's fun to watch. It's a really good background. It's a good background show. Also didn't realize they were gonna show full on peen, but they showed full peen. Motel Makeover. If you love a HGTV, a fixer-upper, a flipper-flop, if you love a little home show, you need to watch Motel Makeover. These bitches don't know what they doing. 2 hospitality entrepreneurs look to expand their empire by renovating an old motel in Ontario just as the COVID-19 pandemic hits. First of all, they're from Canada, but they speak with this very exaggerated, glottal ass, fry ass, Valley Girl accents. And instead of enunciating with the tips of their tongues, they enunciate with their tonsils, because they're all stuck back here to this like old ass motel, and they renovate it, but they don't really do like deep renovations. And so when they go into these old motels, they actually need to like make the integrity of these rooms better. I'm talking floors, walls, furniture, but it seems like they're kind of just doing a very cosmetic renovation. So they have this line of motels called the June Motel, and they're supposed to be these like Instagrammy, like almost like LA themed motel. So it's like everything's turquoise and peach and pina colada, you know, color schemes and like palm trees. And it's the June Motel. That is the vibes. But the actual hotel rooms aren't that great from what I've been reading in the reviews. Like I said, it's a shit show. So if you want to see some shit show with some shit blap, tune into Motel Makeover. Next show I watched was HALSTON. For those of you that do not know, I have a fashion channel. I have a style and fashion channel. I will link it in the description. But fashion is something that interests me. And so I love learning about designers, the backstory, how they came to be, different brands, different fashion houses and stuff. And so that was my motivation for watching HALSTON. HALSTON is a show about an American fashion designer, about him skyrocketing to fame and him building his empire before his life starts to spin out of control. It's giving very much LGBT. I have never seen so much oral sex. Just everyday oral sex. Just like making my way downtown, walking fast, sucking a dick. And that's the energy. Ryan Murphy was the executive producer for the show. And I just feel like anything that Ryan Murphy puts his hands on, it's gonna have that. But I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed learning about this designer and how he pretty much developed these whole silhouettes that we still use to this day, how he draped fabrics over models and like how passionate he was and how confident and staunch he was in the industry. It was a really inspiring story in my opinion. I very much enjoyed it. So if you are into fashion, if you're into color, if you're into very like visually interesting pieces, then I think that you're really gonna like the show. If you like Pose, I think you're gonna like this show. Black Summer. Okay, set in the Z Nation universe, this series follows a crack team of special forces as it fights for hope in the darkest hours of the zombie apocalypse. I'm with y'all, okay? As soon as I said zombie apocalypse, y'all was like, okay, another zombie show. Somehow Black Summer did a zombie show differently. I have never been so focused on a show in my life, I think. Tension and just holding tension for an hour straight. It's really good. The writing is really good. The pacing is perfect. There's gonna be some moments where like, this episode is getting dry. This episode is getting a little slow. I'm telling you, hold out, hold on. You gotta hold on, hold on. You have to hold on, hold on. Just hold on, because I promise you, you're gonna get smacked in the face with some drama you did not see coming. It's a lot of jump scares, but this show does jump scares differently in a way that makes you feel like you're gonna pass out. I feel like it's worth a shot. Fresh, fried, and crispy, passionate about food and ready for fun. Critic Dame drops in on America's smoking hot spots for the best fresh takes on fried food. I love a cooking show. I do. I really do love a cooking show. There's only so many times you can say crispy exterior Dame Drops. And this is no shade to Dame Drops. Most respect to Dame Drops. He's been in the YouTube game for a minute. I gotta respect the people that was here. And I hope that he gets to season 2. But for me, I just needed a little bit more knowledge, you know what I mean, when it came to the food. When it comes to a food show, I wanna know food knowledge. If you're not giving me food knowledge, then give me jokes. And it just didn't have it all the way. It didn't curl all the way over for me. Also, I didn't like how slow he ate his food. It was oddly sensual. I didn't need to see all that. I don't need 60 frames per second of Dame Drop's bottom glistening lip on a French fry. It was a little too up close and personal for me. The UPSHAWS. In Indiana, a working class African-American family struggles to make it work and make it right without the blueprints to do it. The cast of the show is amazing. Kim Fields, Mike Epps, Wanda Sykes, they're all leads in this show, and it makes no sense to me why it wasn't funnier. When you have those 3 as the leads, you just expect it to be knee-slapping material. I don't know what it was, but I got like 3 episodes in and it just was not giving for me. And I don't know what it was. It made no sense to me too. Because Wanda had like some cute one-liners, but you know, it's Wanda Sykes. Of course she's gonna have some cute one-liners. I don't know if they just didn't have room to improv or what. I don't know why, but for some reason this show was not funny. And it should have been, because it had all of the pieces to the puzzle. But one thing I can say was that it was very real. Like, I feel like the dialogue was very much like, oh yes, this is a black family, this is a black household, this is how black households talk. Yeah, it just wasn't an entertaining show for me, and I'm kind of sad about it. Wretched. A young nurse at a mental institution becomes jaded and bitter before turning into a full-fledged monster to her patients. I like the show. It was everything that you would expect from Sarah Paulson. Very entertaining. And I loved what Sarah Paulson brought to the character. Like I said, I don't want to see Sarah Paulson ever in a character that's happy. I want to see her divorced. I want to see her losing everything. I want to see her on her 13th reason. I hope she never goes to therapy. Okay, let's get into the show that I did not understand. Behind Her Eyes. A single mother enters a world of twisted mind games when she begins an affair with her psychiatrist boss while secretly befriending his mysterious wife. Like, halfway through this show, I stopped understanding what was happening. A supernatural element gets introduced. Low-key, this girl is like back at the mental institution. I would think about places I would want to go in my mind, and then I could go to those places in real life. But like, it wouldn't be her physical body. It would be like a soul, or just like a glittery entity floating. Girl, do you see what I'm saying? You find out that there is some weird stuff going on between the wife and the husband, because the husband has a very tight leash on his wife, won't let her do anything, won't let her go anywhere, won't let her have a phone. And so immediately you're like, ooh, domestic violence, right? But then you realize that shit is not what you thought it was, because homegirl Loki has powers. Even though I didn't fully understand what was happening, I was there for the ride. It's kind of like trying scissoring for the first time. It's like, I didn't really know what was going on, and I didn't really know what I was supposed to feel, the sensations that I was feeling. I don't know if I was supposed to be feeling them in those spots. But either way, I was there, leg up, hand on frontal. The Queen's Gambet, set during the Cold War, orphaned chess prodigy Beth Harmon struggles with addiction in a quest to become the greatest chess player in the world. This is like if Matilda had a Tumblr. I think if it wasn't for Anya Taylor-Joy, this show would not be remotely as interesting as it was. Because low-key, the story itself, it's like, okay, it's kind of cool, you know, this like young girl who, you know, lost her parents really early in life, has a knack for chess, and she becomes like this big boss-ass chess player. I had no idea that chess was taking this seriously. Like, oh my God. And so homegirl, she's a prodigy. And so she was just, yak, 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 yak. Next, yak, 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 yak. Next, rook, huh? Checkmate, huh? Slide to the left, huh? Crisscross. Like, that is very much what she was giving. But like I said, if it wasn't for Anya Taylor-Joy, just looking the way that she does, she looks like an amphibian to me in the best way possible. And the last show we're going to get into, show I guess I watched the top of 2021, Bridgerton. Bridgerton actually came out in 2020. It came out Christmas 2020, but I guess I didn't watch till the week after. During the Regency era in England, 8 close-knit siblings of the powerful Bridgerton family attempt to find love. Once again, back with some interracial drama for you. I feel like the story was kind of boring. Like, I just didn't really care that much. Like, as I'm watching the show, I'm like, why am I rooting for this white girl so much? I just didn't care that much about the characters here, nor was I hard while watching it. I feel like while everyone was watching the show, the comments and the posts that I was seeing were very much all about that widow's peak of a leading man. I just thought the story was kind of simple. Where it went was kind of predictable, I guess. It was fun to look at though, it was entertaining to watch. I loved seeing Black people within like this Renaissance era, within this period piece. It probably wasn't even until I saw Passing where I saw Black people, like more than 1 or 2 within a period piece, because it was set in the 20s in New York City. I loved seeing Black people in all of the dress and the garb. The show had these little moments where they would make it feel really like present, like it could be happening right now. The background orchestra, like the quartet in the background of this Renaissance era ass party would be playing like Dua Lipa, but like as a quartet in the, The show was very fun and like punchy and colorful. And for that, I liked it. Those are all of the Netflix TV originals that I watched this year. Let me know what y'all watched. Give me suggestions too in the comments based off of my reviews here. What do you think that I would like that you watch? Leave it in the comments because I'm always looking for something to watch. And I'll see y'all very soon in another one. Don't forget to stay tuned into the movies version of this because that one is coming next. And I'll see y'all very soon in another one.